There are 3 words that, once written on the object you touch 2,000 times a day, quietly begin to rearrange your life. Not a prayer, not a mantra you have to chant for an hour. Just 3 words, sitting under your fingertips every single time you check the time, answer a call, or scroll before sleep. And the strange part, most people who discover them say the same thing happened within 7 days. Something moved. A payment arrived early. A door that had been shut for months opened without explanation. A person reached out of nowhere with exactly the opportunity they'd been praying for. Stay until the end, because I'm going to tell you exactly what those 3 words are and why they work on the one object you never put down. Before we go further, I want to ask you for something small. If you believe, even a little, that your thoughts and words shape the life you're living, hit subscribe right now, before you get distracted, before the algorithm decides you never see this channel again. This message is being placed in front of you for a reason. And if it's your season to receive, you're going to want to be here for what comes next, because this isn't the only key I'm going to hand you. Subscribe now, then come back to me. Florence Scovel Shinn used to say something that unsettled the polite spiritual crowd of her time. Your word is your wand, not your thought, not your wish. Your spoken and written word. She taught that the universe is listening constantly, not just to your prayers on Sunday, but to the small, careless sentences you repeat all day long. I never have enough. Money just slips through my fingers. Things like that don't happen to me. Each one of those sentences, she said, is a decree, and decrees get built. Here's what most people miss. It's not enough to think abundance once and hope it sticks. The subconscious mind is not persuaded by a single good thought fighting against 100 old ones. It's persuaded by repetition, by what you see over and over, without even trying to see it. So the question Florence Scovel Shinn essentially left behind for us was this. If the subconscious responds to what is repeated, what is the one object in your life that you look at more than anything else? Bed, mirror, wallet, even your own hands. For most people alive right now, in this century, there's only one honest answer. It's the object in your pocket, your phone. Think about it honestly. You look at your phone before your feet touch the floor in the morning. You look at it in line, at the store, at red lights, in bed at night, in the bathroom, at the dinner table when no one's watching. Some people touch their phone over 2,000 times a day. Now, here is the reveal. If your subconscious mind is shaped by repetition, and if Florence Scovel Shinn was right that your word is a wand that builds your circumstances, then the object you touch 2,000 times a day isn't neutral. It's either working for you or quietly working against you, depending on what it's silently saying to your mind every time you pick it up. Most people's phone cases say nothing, or worse, they carry logos, images, and colors chosen for aesthetics only, feeding the eye but starving the spirit. But there is a way to turn that same object, the one you were already going to hold 2,000 times today, into a working instrument of manifestation, by writing on it, or placing beneath it, in the space where it meets your hand, 3 specific words that Florence Scovel Shinn herself used as a personal decree, long before manifestation was a hashtag. But here's what you need to understand before I give you those 3 words. Because if I hand them to you too early, you'll use them like a wish and wonder why nothing happens. The question isn't what are the 3 words. The question is, what did Florence Scovel Shinn actually believe made a phrase powerful enough to change a person's bank account, their health, their relationships? Because it wasn't magic. She was very clear about that. She said the words only work when they are received as already true, not as a request sent up and hoped for. There's a difference between begging the universe for something and standing in your own doorway, and simply receiving what was already addressed to you. And that difference is the whole story I want to tell you now. Let me tell you about a woman Florence Scovel Shinn once described in her own writings, a woman who came to her broke, discouraged, convinced that prosperity was for other people, not for her. She had tried everything. She had prayed. She had made vision boards before they were even called that. She had read every book on positive thinking available in her time. And still, nothing moved. Bills piled up. Opportunities that should have gone to her went to someone else. Florence Scovel Shinn didn't tell her to pray harder. She told her something almost shockingly simple. Stop asking and start receiving. She had the woman write a short phrase and place it somewhere she would see constantly throughout her day, not once glanced at and forgotten, but somewhere unavoidable. somewhere her eyes and her hands would meet it again and again without her even trying. The woman chose her handbag, the object she carried and touched constantly, the closest thing in her era to what your phone is to you now. Within days, small things began shifting. A forgotten debt was suddenly repaid to her. Then, a friend mentioned a job opening that hadn't even been advertised yet. Then, within weeks, an inheritance she didn't know she was entitled to was located and released to her, money that had been legally hers all along, simply waiting, unclaimed. Florence Scovel Shinn's point in telling this story was never money fell from the sky. Her point was this: the money, the opportunity, the door, it was already hers by right. It had already been decreed for her by a law older than her doubt. What she had been missing wasn't the supply. It was her own receiving mechanism. And the words she carried with her, touched by her hands dozens of times a day, retrained that mechanism until her outer world had no choice but to match it. That's the mechanism we're going to place on your phone today. 7-second reveal, 5:40 to 7 o'clock. Here are the 3 words, exactly as Florence Scovel Shinn used them as one of her most repeated spiritual decrees. I now receive, not I hope to receive, not please let me receive, not I will receive one day, if I'm lucky, if I'm good enough. I now receive. Present tense, already happening, no waiting. Written on the back of a phone case, or on a small strip of paper slipped underneath a clear case, so it sits directly beneath your palm. Those 3 words are read by your subconscious mind every single time you unlock your phone, take a call, or simply glance down at a notification. You don't even have to say them out loud for them to work. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that the subconscious absorbs what is placed before it repeatedly, whether or not you're consciously reciting it. That's exactly why repetition through an object you already touch constantly is more powerful than a 5-minute affirmation you say once and forget. Every time your eyes fall on those words, even for half a second, you are quietly canceling out the old decrees. I never have enough. It's always a struggle. Good things don't come to me. And replacing them with a new one. I now receive, not later. Now. Not for someone else. For you. Not as a wish sent outward, but as a truth already standing at your door, waiting only for you to open it. So here's exactly how to work with this, starting today. First, write the words I now receive in your own handwriting if possible. Because Florence Scovel Shinn believed the personal act of writing a decree gives it added power, on a small piece of paper or directly onto the back of your phone case with a fine marker. If you use a clear phone case, slide the paper underneath so the words sit right beneath where your palm naturally rests. If your case isn't clear, write it in a place you'll still see often, the inside flap, the edge, or even a tiny sticker on the back near the camera, somewhere your eye catches it multiple times a day. Second, and this matters, every single time you notice those words, even by accident, pause for one breath and mentally affirm them as already true. Not I hope this works, just I now receive. Let it land as fact, not as wishful thinking. Third, pair this with an old but powerful habit Florence Scovel Shinn taught alongside her decrees: gratitude before the evidence arrives. Each night, before sleep, silently thank whatever unseen order runs your life for what you have already received that day, even small things, a safe drive home, an unexpected kind word, a bill that turned out smaller than expected. This trains your subconscious to expect more of the same. Fourth, resist the urge to check constantly for results. The way a planted seed is ruined by digging it up daily to see if it's growing. Write the words, carry them, believe them, and then release your grip on how or when the answer comes. Florence Scovel Shinn called this the game of life, and like any game, it can't be won by someone standing at the edge of the field, too afraid to actually play. Do this for 7 days without breaking the pattern. Not because 7 is a magic number, but because that's roughly how long it takes for a new decree to override an old, tired one in your subconscious mind. Here's what I want you to sit with tonight. You have been carrying an object in your hand for years that could have been quietly working for you the entire time. Not because it's magical. Not because 3 words are some kind of spell, but because repetition is the language your subconscious mind understands best. And up until now, that repetition may have been working against you without your permission. Florence Scovel Shinn never promised effortless riches falling from the sky for no reason. What she promised was this: what is yours by right is already yours. It doesn't need to be earned through struggle or begged for through desperate prayer. It needs to be received. And receiving starts the moment you stop announcing your lack, out loud or silently, 2,000 times a day, and start declaring, quietly but constantly, that you are open, ready, and worthy of what has already been set aside for you. I now receive. Write it, carry it, believe it before you see it. If these words meant something to you tonight, don't just close this video and forget them by morning. Subscribe to The Word Creates, so the next teaching finds you exactly when you need it, because these messages have a way of arriving right on time for the people who are ready. And in the comments, I want you to type these 3 words right now, as a declaration, not a wish. I now receive. Let that be the last thing your fingers type before you put the phone down tonight. And if you're wondering why some people seem to receive so easily, while others struggle for years for the same blessing, there's a hidden reason Florence Scovel Shinn revealed about the words we speak without even noticing, the ones that silently cancel every prayer we make. I've explained it fully in the video on your screen right now. Watch that one next, because the words you don't notice yourself saying may be the very thing standing between you and everything you've been asking for.